So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there is only one business model that you can run online coaching. There's loads. There's not actually that many. There's probably about three or four. But from my experience, from what I've done, and from what I've helped other people do, that's where I'm going to talk to you from. Okay, I'm going to talk to you from experience here of what works in the market and the potential pitfalls and the potential advantages of certain business models. That's how I've come to the conclusion that this is the business model. I'm not saying that this is the only business model that's available to you. I'm saying that for 99.99% of people, this is the right way forward because of these reasons, okay? Now, the options that people usually have is one-to-one coaching. So very similar to the gym floor, okay? Where you've got you and the client, and that's the main port of call. It's a one-to-one service. It's individualized. It's bespoke. The other option is more of a group program. So that's you coaching one-to-many. You know, you take on anywhere from 30 to 50 people and coach them through a process at a time. So this is things like 8-week and 12-week transformations. It's just more group-based stuff. The third option is like the really low ticket, really high volume app stuff or subscription-based models where you put out content and people sign up, and it's very low barrier to entry. So people think they can hit a large market, and it moves forward. So I'm going to walk you through my preferred model and tell you why. Now, I think the one-to-one model is the best model for 99.9% of coaches starting out. The reason for that is it's the best priced model. It's the model where you get the most hands-on work with the client in order to get them the best result. And it's the model where it's the easiest to sell because it's the highest touch point. It is perceived as the best model. In the same way as one-to-one personal training is seen as the premium service, and then group training is always seen underneath. Now, if you've got an extremely good reputation as a coach, then people will think, well, maybe I don't need to pay such a high ticket for the one-to-one. Maybe the group option's very good anyway because it's such a good coach. However, when you're first starting out in your journey, people aren't going to make that mental connection. And that's why you probably need to go for the highest touch point service possible so people see or perceive their chance of success to be the highest, which then means obviously they're more likely to actually sign up. The other reasons why I don't like group models is that they'll run dry very, very quickly. You would naturally think that, oh, well, if I drop the price, I'll get more people. Doesn't always work that way. And in practice, it actually doesn't work that way. What you'll do is all the people that were interested in you that probably would have paid for the one-to-one anyway will sign up for the group program. They won't get exactly what they want out of it because it'll be the first couple of times that you've ran it. It'll be a very new process for you. You won't be brilliant at working online immediately anyway. They'll not get the best level of service. They won't get the results that they want, and then they'll fall off. And the app-based model, most people will not have the audience to pull that off. And again, it turns into a very tech business model. So that will be a case of looking at LTVs and looking at ad costs and acquisition costs and how that all balances and how you can scale it, which for me is a very, very different skill set than what most coaches come in with. Most coaches have never run paid advertising before. They don't understand how even to track sales, let alone track customer values through a tech platform. So for me, it's best to stay away from that one. And the reason why I prefer one-to-one over the group is just the perceived chance of success and the fact that you will get a better price for your product, which means that you will be able to grow faster without ripping through your audience, which is what's likely to happen with the group. So with a one-to-one business model, the way it normally works, and you've got a little bit of wiggle room here depending on your personal preference, but the way it normally works is the person will get a personalized diet plan, nutrition plan. They will get a personalized training plan. They will get a weekly progress and check, or however you want to call it. You can call it a check-in, you can call it a progress review, you can call it a success meeting, whatever you need to call it to make the client see the value in it, you do that. But it's a once a week review point where you adapt or amend any programs or training or nutrition that the client has had. And you basically walk through any issues that they've had that week. On top of that, you would contact them at least, I would think, a minimum of 3 times a week. Remember that these are people that need motivation, they need help, they need accountability. So I would always set a minimum of 3 times a week of contact, of making sure they know what they're doing. How are you getting on? Is there anything you're struggling with? And that will allow them to succeed. And that is the kind of the way the one-to-one model works. So they work directly with you. Yes, you can do community stuff. You can put them in a Facebook group. You can put them in a WhatsApp group. That's fine. But their most likely method of communication is directly with their one-to-one coach. And that's how the one-to-one business model works in online coaching. The final thing you're going to look at is pricing for these models. Okay. Now, pricing for apps can be anywhere from $3.99 to $99.99, even above. If obviously the scale is endless if you're really good at marketing and selling. Group programs will generally be around £50 to £75 a month, and then your one-to-one, which is what I would recommend, will probably start on the very lowest end, probably around £150, and for a beginner, £150 to around £200 a month would be a good place to start. Increasing that anywhere up to £300 or £400 as you become an expert at your craft. You can even go above that. Some people get up to £500 and even £600 a month if you're very, very good at what you do. So those are the kind of pricing models you've got. Again, for the one-to-one model, I would start around $150 to $175. And then when you feel a bit more confident with the sales process, look at getting yourself up towards that 200. And that will give you the perfect opportunity to scale your business forward. Now, this is how you put the nuts and bolts together. They're like the deliverables and the packaging. If you want to think about the marketing of your product and how you package it up and how people are going to view it, the best thing you can do is download our offer builder. All you need to do is just click the link below. It'll give you access to it. There's 4 modules. It's a bit more in depth of what we've gone through. So like it'll talk about pricing. It'll talk about how to name it. It'll talk about how to show the value to your potential clients. And that's a really, really good next step after you've done this. And if I haven't mentioned already, it's completely free. So all you need to do is swap your email for it, which I think is a very, very fair trade for the level of information that you get. So click the link below, sign up for that, and then make sure that you subscribe to the channel and click the notification icon so you get notified when we do more videos. Thank you.